Hello, and welcome back to Common Sense for Relationships, and happy Easter! I hope you're having a wonderful Easter celebration and you are enjoying the holiday. It's a good time for us to all think about the sacrifice of Jesus Christ and how he gave his life so that he could redeem us and give us an opportunity to become a part of God's family. So here on Common Sense for Relationships, we're celebrating and we are really grateful to God for all that he has done for us, and we are wishing you a wonderful Easter celebration and a happy holiday. Okay, so getting to our show for the day. I hope everybody's excited and I hope you came expectant for wonderful things to happen today. It's going to be a great time on the show today, and you will soon see why. Now, many times you find that economic and financial stability is on that list of reasons why people are not getting married yet. So more and more you hear people say, I would love to, but I cannot afford it. And this response is a cause for concern for the parents, family members, and sometimes even the singles who would like to get married but cannot because of these financial reasons. So what do we do in a situation like this? How can we help our brothers and our sisters who are single, would like to get married, but feel that they are not able to because of financial constraints? So today that's what we're going to be looking at. And we're going to go from idea to execution. How do we deal with this issue? And as usual, I'm not alone on the show. I'm with my husband, Kingsley Bature.
Hello, 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 and welcome, 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 welcome. There's somebody online saying that you should continue wearing native. This is lovely.
Thank you so much, Jimoski.
Thank you. From idea to execution.
Yes.
You know, I wanted to jump in, but I said, let me just quickly add this one to, because we're in the season of Easter.
Yes.
And really, we're not going to throw away the season because we are on the show. We recognize the season we are. And for me, I said, while I was coming to the studio, something came to my mind that Easter is actually God's idea perfectly executed by men. Think about it for a moment. Just think about it.
I'm thinking.
Think about it.
It's beautiful.
Easter is God's idea perfectly executed by men. If you get it, you now understand idea to execution. For God so loved the world
that he gave.
And in giving, he came to his own did not accept him. And because they did not accept him, they crucified the Lord of glory, right? And so they executed the idea. When they executed the idea had to be repositioned and rebranded in order that those that received him became the son, received the power to become the sons of God. I don't know if anybody is getting me here. So the fact that your business idea suffered a roadblock or stumbled on the way does not mean it cannot be properly executed.
It's part of the journey, right?
Let me stop there before it will look like I'm preaching this particular evening. But somebody that is getting it will get it. So let's continue with this show.
Cool. So if I'm to toe your line, I'll go and look for trouble and then I'll come back. You know that men always say wives submit, but then the Bible says the men, you should love your wives as Christ loved the church, and this is the perfect way that Christ loved the church. He sacrificed for the church. So man, if you are not sacrificing for your wife, you have not started yet.
Is that how you want to start today?
It's you that went there now, so let me just jump in and then jump out. All right, so this issue of I don't have money, I can't afford it, and stuff like that has even brought about some outcomes, right? Like people deciding to cohabit, people doing friendship with benefits, and also people just choosing to go ahead and live life anyhow in the name of I can't afford it, so I'll just do what I can do, and so on. It's quite a challenge. So how do we handle this? How do we handle this? Do you have any opening thoughts on how singles can address this issue of, I don't have money, I'm not financially stable, I can't get married yet, even though I want to, and I have somebody that I love, but we just can't settle down yet? Do you have any opening thoughts?
I think what I would say is this, is the fact that because we're looking at idea to execution, and I'm seeing the interesting thing about the concept of idea to execution is that if you can apply it to your business, you can apply it to your relationship. If you can take the concepts that we talk about here and apply it to your business, those same concepts, you can apply it to your relationship as your business. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So look at the business side of the relationship, or look at the relationship as a business. You will be able to apply it, and this is coming for guys, especially when you're saying, because a lot of times when you look at when we consult, right? When people come to me, and a lot of times the guys are always saying that there's no capital. There's no capital. But the truth is 60% of the time, because there are cases where yes, capital is needed, but 60% of the time, 60% of the time, capital is not the problem. There are cases where capital is needed, but 60% of the time, capital is not the problem. The problem a lot of times is that people don't pay attention to the details of what exactly they are saying they want to do. So I can give you some steps, I can give you some things that we may want to look at that help you to move from idea all the way to execution.
Okay.
So you can take it for business, you can take it for relationship, you can take it for life, you can use it anywhere, but they're just simple steps. And I don't know if I can dive right into that. If you
so I think I will go through the steps, and then as we touch on each one, then we bring our different views on the subject. Is that okay?
I think that's okay. Yeah, I just want us to do it. This me thinking that we should do it in a way that before somebody will say, oh, it's only relationship that it can apply to. We should do it in a way that the template is applicable anywhere. Do you get what I'm saying?
Definitely. Yeah. Okay, so let's start. Guys, are you ready? Lydia, hi, welcome. Kingsley F. Young, hi, Jimoski, welcome. Please, who knows where Debbie is? Let's find her.
Debbie didn't start today, but
yes. In fact, we should give her an award for not being the first, because that would be like the exception. Okay, so I'll start with the first one, and I think this is a very good place to start, and that place is number one, which is pray or retreat. So somebody will say, why am I talking about pray or retreat? I mean, there's a starting point for whatever it is you're trying to birth, or for whatever it is you want to become. Praying, taking a retreat, taking some time for solitude is the beginning. It's a good place to start. Why? Because this allows you the opportunity to actually conceptualize. It's an opportunity for you to connect to your source. For people of faith, it's your opportunity to connect to your creator, your maker, your God, and to find out, hey, why am I here? What did you create me for? What is my life about? What am I to do in this current season or in this time of my life? What next? That's the time for you to do it. You start with prayer, you start with a retreat, and why are we talking about retreat or solitude? Because you need some time away. There's some degree of quietness that you need in your space or around you, so that you can actually be receptive enough to get those ideas, to get those what should I call it, images of what your future should be like, to understand better what you need to do. And if you just stay in your usual environment, your usual setting, still allow the noise, still allow the distractions, still allow the messages to drop in and be making noise as they are coming in, still allow the noise from the TV and the different places where you get distractions from, you are likely not going to be able to clear your mind enough to be able to get these ideas, get these visions, get these thoughts about what your future should be about and what you should be doing next. So that's what I would call the first for me, which is pray and take some time to retreat, right? And that gives you the opportunity to conceptualize.
I will add this. I think that sometimes, and this is for people of faith, when you say pray, some people immediately think of speaking in tongues. They think of going to church service. They think of getting brethren together and then let's agree, a place of agreement. So when you say pray, sometimes that's what comes to people's mind.
Okay.
I will expand that to say the word meditate, and to take back that word retreat. A lot of times when we say retreat, people think it is praying and fasting and really praying and dealing with an issue by going by yourself to go. But a lot of times when people say retreat, you say, I asked someone, have you prayed about this? He says yes. And I said, what did God say? I usually get a very quiet response. Because the truth is, when I hear retreat, in my mind, how retreat works is that I take time away and I sit down with my pen and my paper. I have a book by my side. I have an issue that I am pondering on, and then I take the book. I may read the book, I may read the Bible, then I take the issue and begin to meditate or think on the issue and hear the things that God will bring to light in my mind, because we do have the Spirit, right? We are all connected to the Spirit of God, and that within us is what begins to bring illumination and insight, but from a personal position, not from a general church position. Do you understand? So when you say pray, I'm thinking meditate, I'm thinking retreat, I'm thinking hear word on this issue. What are you hearing? And I'm not looking for you may have a scripture to back up what you are hearing.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, what are you hearing, and what are the definite action steps that you can take? So for me, that's what meditation is. It's just that sitting back and thinking on this issue. Someone called me. Someone said to me that there was some issue or something she was thinking about, and I said to her, there was something my wife made me do once. I think she made us do once. What happened? Something happened, and she said, "Can we write out 100 ways of making money?" Do you remember that time? When you say, "Can we write out 100 ways of making money?" And I'm thinking to myself, okay. And I told the person, this thing that you want to do, write for me 100 ways in which you can do this thing from the place where you are, both with and without resources. Are you getting me? Both with and without resources. That will require you to meditate for at least an hour, 2 hours, or 3. Do you get?
Yeah.
That meditation, that thinking, that resolution does not make you devoid of the Spirit of God, does not make you any less Christian or less religious. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So from that perspective of prayer, that's what I take from there.
Yeah.
Meditation. People need to think.
Yeah.
Let the people of God think, because we have stopped thinking.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I like the way you broke it down and just made it really practical as per step by step what people should do. And the thing is, if you actually take your time to do this, you will often come away with a better idea. If you didn't have any, you will have an idea. If you had one before, a better idea. And sometimes you get to the point where you even have a vision of what the future looks like. Now, when I say a vision, I don't mean that you will see like a screen appear in front of you and then you see like a video playing and stuff like that. If it gets to that point, fantastic. But even if it doesn't get there, you'll be able to picture in your mind, conceptualize, you'll be able to perceive, what is this future going to be like? So generally speaking, for someone who is single, right, and is planning to get married, you may start to see, okay, I guess I'm going to be married to somebody who is maybe a few years older, or some kind of age gap, you define it, and in your mind you can start to see, okay, we're going to have kids, the number that you desire, you can see that family size with you, your spouse, and the children, and we're going to live in, you can define it to which country are we going to live in, and then which city or which state in that country. You can define it to what kind of job are we going to be doing, or are we going to be running our own business, set up our own empire and stuff like that. You begin to picture all of that in your mind. That's what you get out of that whole process of praying, retreating, taking some time for solitude, okay, and meditating. So it's really good to do that, and it's the starting point. If you don't do this, then you're just going to be running with random ideas. They haven't been thought through, they haven't been born from a place where you know that, okay, this is coming from within me, it's coming from my creator, it's coming from my father, my God, or it's coming from whatever thing that is higher than you that you believe in, right? Okay, so it's important. If not, you may just start running with someone's idea that you saw on TV, or running with the most popular opinion at the time. All right, so after you have done this step 1, which is the praying and retreating and all of that, the next thing you need to do is write that vision down. Okay, so write that vision down. Whatever it is you conceptualized, write it down, make it plain, right? So that it's easy for you to run with. Write that vision down. So for instance, let's take the one of earning enough money, right? So in the initial picture, your concept, you have that, hey, we're going to earn enough money, or we're going to make enough money to be able to live this kind of life or have this quality of life. By the time you get to writing that vision, you actually have to write it down and flesh it out. Earn enough money. How are you going to earn the enough money? Then you have to decide, am I going to do business? Am I going to get a job? Am I going to, just work until I retire, make enough money, and maybe save some, invest some, stuff like that? Or am I going to work for a few years, learn what I need to learn, and then get out and set up my own thing? It's just all part of it. You have to flesh it out. Am I going to do business? If I'm doing business, am I starting from scratch? Am I going to start small and build? Am I going to run it on my own, or find a partner or something? You actually have to flesh it out. Do you want to add anything to this part of writing the vision?
Well, I think for me too, because as a businessman, sometimes we get thrown off by the technicalities of business. And technicalities, I would say, for example, the moment we say what's your vision as a business, people just enter professional mode immediately, and they are trying to sound correct. They are trying to have this way they sound that makes you begin to take them more seriously. But for me, I try to bring it down. I try to bring it in a way that it is relatable, that anyone can do it, right? So I was just, while you were talking, while we were preparing, I was just trying to see, can I put my thoughts down together? The businesses that I have done, how did I build? What were some quick steps that I can easily share? And while we're on that place, I think before the show ends, something is touching me in my mind, let me put it that way, to offer free business consultation sessions with 5 people on the show. That's the giveaway that I'm doing. 5 people, free business consultations with them. I don't know how we will select the 5, but we will give them a link before the end of the show. But this is how I bend it down. If you're going to go from idea to execution, I said the first thing you would do is begin from where you are. Start from where you are. Or let me put it this way, begin with the end in mind and start from where you are. So those are 2 things. What's the end that you have in mind? That's number 1. That's where you should begin. What's the end you have in mind? Then number 2, where are you right now?
Yeah.
Right? What is your present position?
Yeah.
Start from there. Okay? So the end that you have in mind is the vision. where you are right now is where you are starting from.
Yeah.
Right? For those people that are, for the Christians that are with us, there's that scripture that says, go into the world. That's the end in mind. But begin from Jerusalem to Judea to Samaria. So that start from where you are. Good. Then the next thing I always think of is that have a failure plan. So that's three things now. Number one, begin with the end in mind.
Yeah.
Number two, start from where you are.
Yeah.
Number three, have a failure plan, i.e., plan for what to do when you fail.
If you fail.
When you fail. In business, it is a when, it's not if. Because the chances that everything will go right is very low. In business, maybe in professional setup where people have already set up things can work like clockwork. But if it's business you are doing and you have an idea, you must have a plan for when you fail. So it is not an if. So plan for fail. And sometimes people look like, oh, I started doing this thing and I failed. And I'm saying that you failed because that fear of failure is what actually stops some people from starting.
Okay.
But I'm saying that you failed does not mean the idea has failed. It's that the way to do it, you didn't get a clearance.
This first way did not work.
This first way did not work.
Okay.
Find another way. That's how I look at it. Another way I would look at it is the fact that once you have that failure plan, even when the failure happens, you have a way to deal with it.
Okay.
And I always say, especially to my Christian brothers, I say, you are not the first person to fail. So don't look at, you failed and then it will be like, this testimony is not complete. Oh, I failed. This thing, there's no, You're not the only person that failed. Even God. Okay, let me draw this one aside. Let me draw this one aside. Listen. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. You know, in the season of Easter, and I said Easter is God's idea executed by men. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believed in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. However, that's John 3:16. However, John, I think 1:11 said that he came to his own, but his own did not accept him. In other words, God's original plan for the people he planned it for, they rejected it, i.e. the plan failed. What did God do? He rebranded. Do you understand? He rebranded and repositioned and now said, okay, since the people that he came to did not accept him, whosoever accepts him, to them gave he the power to become the sons of God. Fantastic. So my point is, if you have a failure plan, you already know that, okay, if my target market does not accept my product, what do? You have a plan.
Okay.
Do you understand? So that's what the failure plan is. That's the first three. I will give you the next three.
All right. So I would like us to just quickly go through comments and then we'll take a break. Victor Momo says, good evening. Hey, Victor. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining the show. We're really excited about that. Dara Benny says, I'm interested in your business mentorship,
the free consultation.
Yes.
Okay, we'll send the link. We'll find a way to pick the people that would get.
All right, so Darabani says he's interested. Jimoski says, I think the fear to fail or lose can be the factor most people don't want to execute some ideas. Okay. Sorry, I haven't finished reading that, what Jimoski had. And then he says, even if the person has financial capital, I understand what you're saying, Jimoski. So in this case, the person has the money, but just being afraid to fail, so they don't start at all. Thank you so much,
I'll teach you how to fail well.
All right.
Please remind me, that person that said, please remind me.
Pastor but I see you. Good evening. And Darabani says some people don't have the mind to witness failure in business, and they compare themselves with people that are quite old in business.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, the people that are quite old in business, you will
failed
find that
several times.
they probably have failed, many times.
Forward.
Yes. Okay, so with that, we'll take a short break.
And before we go on the break, please share the link, because I know we didn't say that at the beginning. Share the link. Are there some people that keep asking you for the least 2K? Come and tell them, come and show them, share the link so that they will know how to make their own 2K, and then they'll stop disturbing you. Exactly. So share, like, and we'll be back shortly.
All right.
Thank you.
Dive into the world of limitless possibilities with Broken Walls Media, your one-stop destination for unparalleled media and broadcasting excellence. Immerse your audience in captivating live experiences that breaks down walls and forge unforgettable connections. Our seasoned team ensures every moment is a masterpiece from concept to execution. Step into our state-of-the-art podcast studio where innovation meets sound. Craft your narrative with top-notch equipment and acoustics, turning every word into a symphony of ideas. Your story amplified. Elevate your productions with our cutting-edge equipment. From cameras to lighting, we provide the tools to turn your vision into a reality. Quality is our commitment. Success is our guarantee. Welcome to Broken Walls Media.
From idea to execution, we're back. Okay, so how do you really get from idea to execution? That's what we're talking about. We started from the very first thing, which is prayer, which is taking that retreat, taking that time of solitude so that you can conceptualize and receive your idea. And then the next thing we talked about is writing the vision, right? Writing the vision and making it plain so that you can run with it, fleshing out that idea, just making it, writing a little more detail for you to see it better so that you can start to run with it. The next thing we're going to look at is setting goals. It's so important to set goals. It's so important to set goals. And why is that? Because goals are the way that you begin to bring to life that idea, that vision. And what really is a goal? It's just that dream, but you put a timeline to it. So what happens in this stage of setting goals? You take that vision that you wrote down and made plain, take it and break it down into smaller steps, into tiny steps, many steps. Okay, I'll give you an example, and then you put a timeline or a deadline for each of those steps. So if I take the first one where we said you are going to get a job or a business and you want to take that and start to set goals, I'll start with the one of a job. For a job, you can take, I need to get a job, right? And break it down into steps. Some of the steps you could break it down into, first of all, you have to decide the type of job you want. And don't just stop at the type of job you want, because there's a way you want something that you do not have all the requirements for, you're not qualified for. So you also need to write down what kind of job you can get with the current qualifications that you have. Then put a timeline to that. So don't just say, find out what kind of job I want. You should be able to say, tomorrow I am going to find out, or I am going to write out in detail the type of job that I want or the type of job that I am qualified for. So whatever research you're going to do to help you arrive at that decision, you have put a timeline to it. I am going to complete it by tomorrow. That's day one. Okay. Day two, you can decide I am going to outline all my skills, right? All the skills that I have to offer. You know why you need to do that? Because you will need to, at some point, compare the skills you have with the skills that are required for the job. I mean, when you say you want to get a job, you find a particular title or a particular position, and then you see the requirements. They'll ask you for skills, they ask for qualifications, stuff like that, certifications, and so on. You need to know first what you have. At least write it out in detail. It's not just primary school education, secondary school, university. What are the other things you do? Things that you know how to do well. What skills? What can you offer? How can you help whichever office or whichever industry or whatever place you want to serve in or work in? How can you help them? What can you offer them? You need to know all of those so that you can start to test, am I qualified for this job? So you know how confident am I to go and apply for this? Or do I need to even do something to close the gap? So this is all part of setting goals. So you write down day 2, outline all the skills. Then maybe day 3, you say, I will update my resume, assuming you have one already. But if you don't have any, day 3, you can spend it writing your resume. And then you build in these skills that you found on day 2, put them in, and just write it out in my resume, get to the skills part, list out all the skills that you have, your qualifications, everything. And then you can decide, day 4, I'm going to create my online presence. So you see how you are taking the vision and you're breaking it down step by step, and you're putting timelines, right? Day 4, I am going to create my online presence. I'm going to maybe use LinkedIn or something and just put in the details for how the details for your online presence so that someone can easily find you, right? So this is day 4. And then you can decide, okay, in addition to this, I'm going to build my network. And network is my friends. I let them know, hey guys, I'm looking for a job. Or if you see any advert somewhere, tell me. You can also go to your alumni, your school alumni, and say, guys, please, those of you that are working in so place, because now you have identified the kind of place you would like to work or the kind of place you have qualifications to work at, And then you can tell them, those of you here, please, can you, in fact, it's not blankets, reach out to them one by one. I'm looking for a job, please. If there's any opening in your office, please let me know, So that way you have a connection, or you have many connections to people that can bring you job adverts and help you, So this is just how to do that, set goals. Take that, your vision, break it down into smaller steps, and then put timelines. This helps you to say, within the next month, I am going to do so and so. Or within the next 3 months, I would have done so and so. And you break it down. What are you doing day 1, day 2, day 3? What are you doing week 1, week 2, week 3? What are you doing month 1, month 2, month 3? So yes, that's the next thing. For business, you can also, for the business people, I'm sure people will talk about things like doing your research, trying to find out what it is that you want to offer as a product or a service, who's your clients, who are who's your client going to be, right? The people you're going to serve. Where are they? Where should you set up? Is it online? Is it on site? As in physical shop and stuff? If it's a shop, where? And then maybe a business plan and so on. So you actually have to list all of those things from your vision. Make it very detailed and then put timelines to it. So yes, I don't know if you would like to add anything to this part of setting goals and getting down to the detail of what you have.
Well, for me, I would say the part of the challenges that I faced myself is the struggle to get it right. The struggle to get everything right before you take the first step. So for me, that's part of the challenges with setting goals. So like these things that you have mentioned, these are the things that you need to do. But I want to say this, and I want to say it with all sense of deliberateness, which is the fact that sometimes the way to start is actually just to start. Start and figure it out. Now, for someone like me, that one of my biggest issues is procrastination. That used to be one of my biggest issues. I will analyze, I will design, I will bring out the facts, but I never get to start because I'm thinking, okay, maybe things are not yet this thing. We'll do it in 2 weeks, because in 2 weeks' time we'll have gotten all of these things, and 2 weeks becomes 3 weeks and 4. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I think for most people, for a number of people, one of the biggest problem is getting past that blank sheet. And this is how I take business to be. Let your business be on a plain sheet of paper. Take your business like a plain sheet of paper, a blank sheet that is empty. I wish I had a blank sheet, or someone would pass me one. A blank sheet. Get a blank sheet and say, this is where all of my idea is. And take this blank sheet and hold it up, and you say it is blank. It means that we are at 0. And then take that blank sheet and now write, what can I do next? What's this idea? Write it, or draw it, or scribble it, or do you understand?
Yeah.
When you have done that, then what can I begin to do now? Because it's not every business that will take over the global market. In fact, reading about some outliers when they started their business. They weren't really trying to take over the global market. They were just trying to solve a problem. And in trying to solve a problem, they find out plenty people actually have this problem. That's how they became a global brand. Do you understand? So get the plain sheet and put that business into the plain sheet. Keep that plain sheet in front of you. Every day or every moment, or in fact, if you don't have a job yet, make that plain sheet your job. So when you get there, you just look at the plain sheet. Just keep looking at it. Do you understand? And adding something. Then you now say, what can I begin to do? And that's where we those first 3 steps I gave you, which is begin with the end in mind, start from where you are, have a failure plan. Okay? When I fail, what do you do? This particular step, if I do it, it doesn't work. What do I do? Do you understand? If I do it, it doesn't work. What do I do? You cannot even plan for all the failure. Just plan for the ones that are immediately close to you. Right? Then I said, when you have done that, now reposition for success. Take a step. Step out. Step into the water. Because if you never step into the water, you will never get the chance to see the sea separate for you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
If you never get into business, you never find out whether the idea will actually work or not. If you never give it action.
Yeah.
So I said reposition for success. Number 5, do what? Review. That's something people don't, we started from the beginning. You see, people don't meditate and people don't review. So people go through their day, and at the end of the day, you say, oh, I did a lot today, I worked a lot today, but did you review what worked and what didn't work? Do you understand?
Yeah.
When you review, you say, okay, this is what worked, or this one, it didn't, this thing. Why didn't it work? That's review. Yeah. This is what worked, this is what didn't work. Then what's the next thing you do? You create a template. By the time you create a template, it may take you, you may go through a lot to find what worked, and then now create a template with it. But after that, the next time you are going to use that template, it won't be so difficult to do.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So those are those 6 steps. When you've done those 6 steps, step 7, rinse and repeat.
Interesting. Yeah, I like the part that you talked about reviewing, right? And it's a good thing to come back and review after you have taken steps. So after you've written your goals and you've put your timelines and stuff, you have to take action. Yes. Then as you take action from time to time, maybe on a daily basis or on a weekly basis, you come back. In fact, it's, I think, ideal, especially when you're still at the concept stage, is to do that review on a daily basis. What was I supposed to do yesterday?
Yeah, what did I do?
Today, did I do it? Okay. If I didn't finish, move it to today or move it to tomorrow, and then continue. Okay, what failed or what worked? So what do I need to change? So you make necessary adjustments, and then after you have reviewed and you have adjusted or re-strategized, you go back and you continue to work towards your goal. So take those goals, work them one by one. You have each of the goals. You have your plan for how you're going to execute all of those goals, right? Step by step, you walk through them. Because if you have a plan, let's say you one of your plans, like we talked about, was to get a job, right? You now have to come and say, okay, what's my plan for getting this job, right? That's a good place for you to start to do an online search. That's a good place for you to have a list of those job types. That's a good place for you to go and look at the skills. In fact, sometimes you realize that, oh, I don't have all the requirements. It's a good place for you to, during your review, say, okay, I have found that I need these extra skills that I do not have. Where can I close the gap? Can I go online and learn something? Is there any of these online platforms that I can quickly go and do a certification or do a course or something to close that gap, so that you can go and you are fully qualified for whatever job you found that you want to apply for? So you set your goals, you take action, you review your progress and you review your results. And then if you have achieved your goal, by all means, let's say you went ahead, took some tests, did some interviews, and you got a job. When you're coming back and you see that, hey, I've accomplished my purpose, it's time to celebrate. So you have to build in celebration and some kind of reward for yourself. So it's not just work, 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 work. But when you've made progress, when you are achieving your goals, build in some reward for yourself, you know, celebrate your progress or celebrate your results, and then you keep moving. Now, as you do this, you do you've walked through your plan. So we've talked about how to get from idea to execute, right? And when you have gotten the job, you not now say, oh, I've gotten the job, full stop, that's it. You now have to think, okay, I've gotten this job, right? Okay, so what was the end game? The end game was to enable your relationship, right? We were talking about how people say, I am not able to get married, even though I found somebody that I love, but I can't get married because I do not have the funds, right? But by the time you have gotten to the point that, okay, I have a job now, I have a stream of income, you know, what kind of adjustment do I need to make, or how do I need to live so that I can have enough to get married, right? So that you solve that problem, because we are addressing this issue of, I don't have money, so I cannot get married, so I will start living with this person. You start cohabiting, you start doing friends with benefits, you start going against your personal values, cultural values, religious values, you go against everything. Then you start living with a sense of guilt, feeling overwhelmed, feeling, you know, you really don't need that. So you can actually plan, you know, say, this is what I want to get married. If I want to get married, I need money to get married. Okay, then I need to have a way of earning money. What is it? Job? Is it business? How do I achieve that? And when you have gotten there, then you can now come back to, okay, now that income is coming, what can I do to make it a sustained income? What can I do to grow what is coming, you know? And then you start looking into things like investments, you start looking into things like savings and stuff like that.
Babi, sorry to butt in there, because you are giving them so many things that some of them might not even be able to use, because you are getting granular. You're giving them so many details. Do you understand? And which is good, but where I want to hit the thing, right, with what you are doing, is for them to know that these things that you have said, I need to take it and build it into a template. Do you understand? The things you have said, the things you have highlighted, they need to start thinking systematically. That's what a template does. Now, if they take those things you have said and put it in a template, they can apply it, whether it is the person that his end game is to get married, or is the person that his end game is to fulfill his life's mission, or is the person that his end game is to just even help his village. Because some people, they may not be married. The people that are saying, oh, we are in situationship, everybody will always look for a reason with which to indulge in his own personal desire. So the people will look for reasons to justify any personal desire that how does that scripture put it, that everyone is tempted when they are drawn out by their own lust. Do you understand? So it's not just people that can draw you out, or it's not just people that can. Do you understand? You can be drawn out by your own lust. So everybody will give an excuse for that. So those people, that one day.
So if I take what you're saying, right, I'll just go with, if you're talking about a template, right, just talk about step 1, step 2 for anything from idea to execution. So if the first part was sorting out the finance part, right, then you've worked it from idea to execution. You can now pick up the next thing, which is get married.
You can get married and just carry the template. Exactly.
And the template is, number 1, pray/retreat/ conceptualize, right? Number 2, write the vision, make it plain, right? Which is whatever that concept was, make it plain, write it, make it clear, flesh it out a little. Then number 3, set goals. So take this, your vision, and put little steps, many steps, right? And then put timelines. Then number 4 is for you to plan to achieve that goal. So for each of the steps, how am I going to do it? You flesh that out as well. and then you take action. After you take action, which is number 5, number 6, you come and review your progress and review your results. And then number 7, you celebrate if you have achieved your aim, or you re-strategize if you haven't.
You just make it a system.
Yeah.
Just take that system, and it's easy to distance. I like us to take some questions
comments.
or some comments.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll start from the one before the one. Yeah. Okay. So yes, thank you. So Jimoski says government tax policy and regulations can be another issue, not to execute business ideas.
I hear what he's saying. I hear him. However, what I will add is the fact that if you are going into a business line, you are thinking about all of these things.
Yeah.
What are the policies? What are the recommendations? What are the things that I need to deal with? Those are part of the steps that those are part of the things you will find in your research. Those are part of things you find in your feasibility report. That's you doing research or getting someone. But these days, when you tell somebody, oh, consult for me, do feasibility report, they'll just charge you big money. But these days, there's Google, there is market, there's friends in different places. You can explore your social capital to get, you do understand, a lot of that.
Yeah.
So that's something to look at. Those are things to pay attention to, but those are not things that should stop you from executing the idea.
Yeah, so it's just a little more work.
A little more work and a little more, maybe a bit more planning, right?
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah.
All right.
Next
Jimoski
comment.
also says low self-esteem can be another factor not to execute ideas.
Low self-esteem. Low self-esteem. That now talks to the personality of the business idea, the business owner, the personality of the business owner. So if you have low self-esteem, and that will bring me to something that we no longer do, which is partnerships, right? There are some people that they are excellent at creating and crafting ideas, but some people are excellent at implementing those ideas. They are so you can be there was a friend of mine that I knew that the guy was an intelligent programmer and stuff, but his what's it called? His business sense was not plenty like that. So he went into partnership. So you can say his personality is not the kind of one that can come and tell you, okay, you have to pay money. He didn't have that kind of personality, but he would get the job done. So he had to partner with someone that can tell you, bros, pay the money first before we solve your problem, without batting an eyelid. That's where I'm trying to deal with that whole personality issue or low self-esteem or whatever. Because if you wait on your personality, you may not get some things off the ground, because there are some things that you don't have.
Yeah.
But that's why I always say begin from where you are. Where you are is a good enough place to begin. And for some people that have low self-esteem, I want to say something. I need you to look in the mirror and tell yourself, I am enough. It's not bragging, it's not hyping. No, it is that you are sufficient for whatever has been put in you to produce to the world. In fact, somebody said to me, he said that if you don't produce to the world what you inherently have in you, it is wickedness, it's not shyness. It's wickedness. Because there are people that are dependent on what you have, what God put inside of you, because all of us have a uniqueness that we're created with. People are dependent on that. If you now say, oh, I am shy, I can't do this thing, I can't do this thing, it's wickedness. It's like that servant that has that one talent. Remember what the scripture said to him? He said to the servant that had one talent and buried it in the ground. He was saying, kiniko, I was shy. Or maybe he was even saying, I had low self-esteem. I didn't even know whether anybody would answer me or anything like that. And the master tells him that you are wicked. Do you understand? Allowing the ideas to die with us is wickedness. It's considered wickedness. So whether you have low self-esteem, high self-esteem, medium self-esteem, as long as you have self, generate your idea, create it, bring it out, because the world is waiting for it.
I like the way you put it, because the world is waiting for it. Whoa.
Man, let me just
Benny says, getting a mentor is also important. Yes, really important. And it's important for every aspect of life, not just making money, for career, for school, for anything. Just find someone who has gone ahead of you on that path that you want to go on and let them tell you the pitfalls to avoid. Let them tell you the interesting things to look out for, things to take advantage of. Let them tell you where to be careful, and things that you can leverage to speed up or to enhance your success.
Baby, let me talk on that mentor part, because I've had a number of people reach out to me, say, oh, I would like you to mentor me, sir. I would like to be your mentee and this and that. And I say a lot of times, right? It's not just I like you to mentor me or I want to be your mentee, or it's not just about that. Sometimes before you say I need a mentor, I need to know what you are actually doing. What have you done? What have you created? What have you crafted? What's the plan? Do you understand? Some people say, oh, I want to do this thing, but I need a mentor. And I'm saying, show me the plan. Show me the business plan. They don't come back. Or you say, oh, I would like you to mentor me, sir. I say, mentor you to do what? In what regard? And just be the mentor in my life. I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah.
Because imagine there was a time we spoke about something on this channel where we spoke about the fact that in mentor-mentee relationship, the question needs to be, what are you bringing to the table? And what are you bringing to the table doesn't mean what are you giving the mentor. No, what's the idea that you are trying to create and send into the world that the mentor can help you midwife in order to produce.
It's like, I mean, on the job, for instance, when you start out in some engineering firms, they'll give you a body, right? And that person is basically to guide you through your processes. So they're supposed to be like, instead of you to run with something, before you start running, check with them, am I on course? Is this the right way to approach this, and so on? So you would have a problem to solve, and then you start from somewhere, you work it up to a point, maybe even get to a solution, and then maybe you have one other backup way that you could do it. Then you go to your body, right, to say, hey, this is how I'm thinking of this thing, this is what I've done, is this okay, am I on course? So your body has something to work with. That is the preferred approach. You have something and you are touching base to make sure that you're on course, that you're on the right track, rather than just showing up to your body's office like, hey, they gave me this assignment too, and then you're waiting for him to now tell you, okay, start from here, or go and look for so and so, or more like they have to tell you everything. That is not a good approach. So it's the same thing with this mentor-mentee relationship. You don't just come empty and say, I need to be mentored. Here I am. It should be, I have seen you in this aspect. You have done this, that, and these are the things I hope to learn from you. This is what I have done. I've explored this, I've explored that, I've tried this, I've tried that, I've walked up to this point, and now I need some clarity on, or guidance on, so you don't come empty and just make the person try to figure out the process with you.
There was something that came to my mind while you were talking, and I think we had talked about it recently, which also helps in this whole financial idea to execution, which was the part where we spoke about where you have someone that if you have an honest evaluation of yourself, there are certain things that you will aim for. Do you understand? Yeah. There are certain things that you aim for. There are certain places that you will. There are certain goals and visions that you can begin with. However, some people want to start from 5-story building. Meanwhile, they've not even built foundation.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So some people want to hit it big. Do you understand? They want to step out big. They want to launch out big. I had a session recently with a client, and where the person was just telling me, oh, these are the things that I want to do, but this is my challenge. But after listening to the client, I found out all the things that she was saying is her challenge. I told her, those things are your challenge. I told her those things are a challenge, but right now where you are, they are not your challenge. Because by the time I asked a few questions and she listed out the things that she really wants to do, All of those things, I told her, if you draw a rectangle in your room, all of those things that you mentioned to me, you can begin to do those things inside your small 10 by 11 space without having to enter Lekki and start looking for rent. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's just an idea that some people either they overestimate or they are aiming higher than where they need to begin from. And that's what somebody said about people looking at old people that have been in the business for long. They have done their bits, they have failed, they have tried different things. So you begin from where you are and grow. The important thing is don't stagnate. Keep moving.
All right.
Keep growing.
Thank you very much. And Kingsley F. Young says, please, you outline practical
Steps.
Can you outline practical steps on how to systemize finance to help meet our goals?
You already done that now.
Done that.
Those 7
well
steps.
listed,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
the
those 7
So
steps.
just
Yeah.
go back and listen to that. And then Jimoski says, capital and ideas, which one is most important to have from the start? You have to start from the idea.
You need the boat. You need the boat for some businesses.
But the starting point is ideas, and in fact, part of your ideas, in a case where you do not have capital, part of the idea can actually be
how to get capital.
Or
Exactly.
How to even
Okay.
do it without
capital.
You know. So simple idea. Someone says, "I want to start a travel agency or something," and you're thinking that it means you have to set
go and
up
buy
this,
software,
buy this, buy that, something.
No.
Meanwhile, and then that you need money to be traveling around so that you build your experience or your portfolio. Meanwhile, another person is saying, "Hey, you can actually go and meet the hotel owners or different people and tell them, hey, I can publicize your business. If you give me 2 nights, I'll come and make a lot of noise about you." And they're like, in fact, yes, please come. We'll even pay your way.
Especially, especially because sometimes if you're going to do this thing for people, if you're not going to charge them to give them a return, they will let you do the thing. And this is something one of my mentors said. He said, learn how to do things for free. Then, when you do it well enough, you will start getting paid for it. So if the capital is not there, learn how to do it well for free. Then somebody will soon find you to pay for it. And just to share, one of the first businesses I started it with 0 capital. Why? Because I didn't have money to start it. Do you understand? But it's to say, with the idea, with the opportunity, so you look out for ideas, you look out for opportunities, and then now generate ideas in which to take advantage of that opportunity. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it's starting with zero capital. And how did I, without going into the details of the business, is that I found somebody that needed this service. I found somebody that knows how to provide the service without capital, because the person that needs the service will pay the person that provides the service. Me, my own job is just to bring them together. And in bringing them together, I got my commission. So I started that business without capital. So it's just to look for how many people can I provide this service to? How many people can provide this service? How many commission can I collect within a day? That was the idea that ran that particular business until we grew it and became something more.
Right. So Sam Marcus Jethro, hi Jethro. Jethro says, advisors save you a lot of time, especially when reviewing ideas and strategies. Yes.
So this is what we're talking about when we say you have to bring something. Just like you said, it's not as if this is what I want to do, tell me what to do. No, you have to bring something. What have you done? What is your input?
If not, they might just send you on a research project.
Yes.
And you spend so much time. Yeah. Okay, so guys, we have talked about how you can achieve your goals, starting from
where you are,
idea to execution. So for those of you lovebirds out there who felt stuck before, we've given you a template that you can
don't localize it to lovebird. Stop saying this lovebird. You too like love. You too like love.
I'm starting from there. Then you can also apply it to other things like getting a job. You can apply it to
'Cause
things like building your first house.
You can apply it to
apply
hustle.
it to traveling on vacation to 5 countries, 5 continents.
In your
You
lifetime.
can apply it to relocating to Australia, Japan, China, Zimbabwe, any place you want to. You can apply it to for anything, starting from idea to execution. Just use the steps, and like we said, those steps are first and foremost get your time of solitude, you know, and then write the vision, make it plain, set your goals, plan to achieve those goals, take action, and then review your progress and results, and finally celebrate and re-strategize.
So if I would add anything, I would say please take this video, watch it again, right? Take this video, watch it again, because those 7 steps, we broke them down into bite-sized information that you can easily apply, things the way you can easily do, so that when somebody hears vision, they don't begin to think they have to spend 3 days prayer and fasting and then see something and begin to manufacture something. No, just take it from where you are. So please watch this video again, reference the sections for where you are and what you need to do. I said I was going to give out some free consultation services for 5 people. So what we will do is we will post it for those online, but we will also put it in the comment section for this video. So the differentiation is when you click the link, please guys, share the link with them. When you click the link, put there #ideas. Do you understand? Put as part of your details that you submit on the link, put their #ideas. Someone from our team will reach out to you and send you the information to schedule your session, your free consultation session.
All right, thank you so much. And Benny, I know you.
And that's coming from Common Sense
Consult.
That's coming from Common Sense Consult.
All right. So Benny indicated you're interested, so please don't forget to do that. Everyone, thanks for joining us for the show today. It's been fun. I know you've gotten value, so please remember to share with your loved ones and other people who need this information. And like we always say, remember, common sense is
not so common. Please also share this on this common sense to pay. If somebody sends you link for the least 2K, send them this video so that they can create their own 2K. That's the way to go. Because we want to teach you, we don't just want to give you fish. We want to teach you how to fish.
Fantastic.
That's
all
the whole
right,
idea.
everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
And happy Easter. Yes. So are you going to now be
Thank you once again for joining us. We hope you got great value today. Our goal is to bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your life and relationships. Please do not forget to subscribe, share, and like.